1, 2, 3, 4,
We're back on Monday with Brian Blaster. You're watching the show.
Phew.
Oh, that was
Just under the wire.
that was a close one.
Oh boy.
As we were starting, I got distracted when I was looking for all this stuff. When I was putting things together, and then I looked up and it was 5 or 10, and Sam was asleep.
I'm asleep.
And we went and got him. And then, as he was starting it, we realized that they're doing maintenance on YouTube Live, because remember, YouTube Live is still kind of in dev right now, and they're doing maintenance on it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shut up. And between 10 and midnight, so we got in there. But it's good. Here we are, and there you are, and it's a show, and people watch it.
Hooray!
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone.
How you doing? We weren't here last week because
I had work, and it was a whole thing. By the way, title of this episode is called Unemployed, as my work closed.
Sam's work for the first time ever.
I just pulled his phone out of my butt.
Oh, it was right up your butt?
Yeah, it's crazy.
For the first time ever, I have a job and Sam doesn't. That has literally never, ever happened. Ever, ever, ever.
Do me.
So that's cool. Also, a reminder, I think we should start telling people now we're going to be taking a month off. I think we should call it a season.
No,
Is
absolutely.
that what
We're
we're
on
doing?
episode 9.
Oh, I can't remember what's going on. Yeah, okay, well, fuck it.
Whatever. We're taking a break for March. Really before March. End of February through March. And probably early April. Brian will be going on tour with his terrible band.
My terrible band is going on tour to promote our terrible record, and then Sam is going to be in Iceland for a month or more, or maybe forever. We'll see what happens. Also, I want to apologize. You're going to watch me blowing snot all over the place tonight, because
But hopefully into the tissues.
I mean, and other places, mostly into tissues, but who knows? I'm sick, so here we go. Check this out. Yeah! Fuck yeah! It leaked out. They got another one for the other side. That's annoying because I was like. I don't even feel like sick in my body, like it's just in my sinuses.
That is sick.
So that's what we're doing soon and now and forever evermore. But let's start the show because we're already 5 minutes in. I need a thing.
Yeah, man, we're 5 minutes in. So anyway, so we've got kind of a loose show, but that's okay because lots of stuff is cool. And bless you, Brian. And we can. Alex Lundy, thank you for liking our Christmas episode just now. That's very nice of you. In any case, we're really good at just talking about stuff.
What is it?
So anyway, we're gonna.
What is it?
We're on the air. Turn your phone off.
I know it is. What's going on? Yeah. Oh, you can't get to work? I hope it's not blocking people because it's not. Because the.
No, it's on the website.
It should be embedded in the website. We're trying to get our potentially only viewer to work. This is an innovative show where we fuse the technical help hotline with like put it in the actual show. Oh, it's working now. Okay, good. Yes, yeah, it's a little messed up. Go ahead. There you go. Oh, he hung up on me already. Okay. That was our.
And all the farts.
Free falling. Yeah, free. Free falling. your falsetto.
Anyway, I didn't mean to do that, but then it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
So
that was our graphic designer, our in-house graphics manager, Alex Lundy. How you doing?
And West Coast broadcaster.
Yeah, West Coast broadcaster.
West Coast producer.
Pretty much the entire crew, aside from all our producers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
To the stuff.
To the news. I had a pretty good show put together last week of news, and now I forgot it all. As always tends to happen. Things. Time is just a blur for me.
Let's go through the usuals. Pope.
The Pope.
Probably sports. And something else.
Yeah. Well, did the Pope do anything?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, for the Pope was quiet. That's news.
Well, here's some news.
Silent Pope.
The United States froze.
Oh yeah, it was really cold.
Meanwhile, Australia boiled.
Mm-hmm.
So opposite ends of the earth. Antipodes being anti was accurate.
Yep.
Also, yeah, so we had some crazy weather. It got pretty cold here, but apparently Chicago froze. I saw pictures online of rats in New York frozen into ice on the street and pigeons in Chicago that had literally fallen out of the sky because they froze in midair. That's how cold it was, apparently.
It's pretty messed up.
Froze in the air.
It didn't get that bad here. It got pretty cold here, but it was not the Midwest. We kind of just snuck in there.
Yeah. Also in the news, politicians being idiots as per usual. Governor Chris Christie of Texas apparently got mad at some people not supporting him with campaign money, so he shut down a couple of lanes on the GW Bridge going into New Jersey. And some people had some heart attacks.
Said governor of Texas?
Of New Jersey.
New Jersey. I thought you said Texas.
No, I said New Jersey.
Idiot.
Maybe I said Texas. I meant New Jersey. In any case, people had heart attacks, and now everybody's suing the governor of New Jersey. It's just like this whole thing. It's like, guys, it's some traffic on the bridge. Like, I get people had heart attacks, but they wouldn't have had heart attacks anyway.
I don't know, man. You see, the thing is, it's like people are they can't get to work. They can't get to wherever they have to go.
Yeah, but there's always traffic.
There's always traffic, but this was a 4-day-long traffic jam that was deliberately caused because one old fucking white guy wanted to get back at one other old white guy. This is like, if people were caught in the what if this traffic jam was caused by two rival gangs who were in New York?
It would be just stupid, but it's still
territory.
Traffic. No, it's not the fact that the traffic happened. It's like that. Yeah, that's stupid. But if people are suing him now over this, it's like
yeah, good for them. It's not the traffic.
It's
not the traffic. It's the principle. Maybe the traffic wasn't that it's not the worst thing you could do, but it's still you're fucking up the lives of the people in your city because of a personal vendetta.
I don't think that's grounds for financial compensation.
It's grounds for it. Not this one thing, but the fact that that's how politicians operate is ground for a fucking revolution.
Yeah,
it's ground for dragging governor in every goddamn state.
You're completely missing the point.
No, you're completely missing the point.
You're taking it beyond what's actually happening now.
Yeah,
we're talking about financial compensation, not revolution. We're not saying what should happen. We're saying what is happening.
Okay, suing
let's kill all the politicians and make our own government. That's how we're talking about.
Suing is how people respond to that stuff a lot of the time. Which
I think is dumb.
It is dumb, but I'm glad that they're upset.
They can be upset, just cool it.
Don't cool it. Don't
be mad. Don't get money for it. That's not solving anything.
Get way angrier.
That's not solving anything. Asking for money isn't solving anything.
Get angrier than you. Too angry to sue.
Also, it's
surpass suing.
Yeah, sure, do that. But
Yeah.
I'm saying suing the governor for this sort of stuff isn't going to solve anything. It's a scandal, and now his political career is over. So he's just going to be replaced by another dude that does the same sort of thing sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Right, you can't take every political problem and go, fuck them, let's kill the world.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't solve anything.
Yeah.
Because that's not going to happen.
It's, well, apparently, we're all going to freeze and or boil to death anyway before it happens. So, fuck it. We'll get to that later in the show on our scrutinous viewings of alignment charts. That's on our schedule. Our schedules are getting worse and worse. They used to be actually illustrated. Our nightly schedules were illustrated, and now they're not even finished. Here's news. Can you see this? Can they see this, Sam?
Yeah, go up a little bit.
It says
up. Yeah, there you go.
News, and then a bunch of dots.
Wait, go to the go to your left a little bit. Yeah, there you go.
News and then dots, because I didn't know it was gonna go there. And it's just, and then here's a C.
Just for cookie or
cookie, and then movies. We were gonna sort this out on the fly. This is terrible. We have no idea what's going on anymore.
I know what's happening.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about Star Wars for a good half an hour.
Oh yeah, well there is Star Wars going on, but we'll get to that
analysis.
The other kind of thing that happened this week was, or the past couple weeks, there was some news floating around about some torrent stuff. Torrent Freak, which is a website that doesn't host torrents or allow you to download torrents from it. I don't quite get what they do. Can you explain it to me?
They aggregate other trackers, so you don't search. You can't download torrents from. They're not hosting torrents. You simply search them for torrents, and they'll point you to the websites that have those torrents hosted.
Yes. They also apparently think, at least of themselves, I don't know how other people think of them, as a news hub for kind of news on torrents.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they posted an article. The head of Torrent Freak, I believe head and founder, whose name I can't remember right now, wrote himself for a long article. He was very upset because Torrent Freak apparently is blocked a lot of illegal or potentially illegal download sites are blocked by parental controls on various web browsers. And Torrent Freak apparently is, even though they don't have any actual torrents hosted. And he was saying it was these are browsers are blocking news sources with their parental controls. Which, to be fair, I mean, it is it is helping people acquire, torrent, get them torrent downloads. But he does have a point, and he was very, very, very upset about it.
This type of censorship is nothing new, but this is, this type of censorship, Google doesn't put. Yeah.
Where's it all coming from, man?
Google doesn't put torrent information in their immediate search in their what do you call it? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They don't put that sort of stuff in their immediate search. A lot of internet in the United Kingdom just censors that stuff completely, and it's just hard to find. And but this is taking it to another step because it's starting to censor things that aren't doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
It's censoring the voice of it. You know what I mean? It's censoring the press. Like literally, that's kind of what it's doing. Is censoring broadcast television. That's what it's like. It's like saying you're not allowed to report on torrents anymore because it makes people think about torrents.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. Which is why it's bad.
Yep. That's where we're getting to.
Also, the torrents aren't illegal.
Yeah.
It's the data that some torrents contain that's illegal. It's pirating software and movies and music that's bad. Torrents is just P2P sharing.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just downloading stuff. I've downloaded plenty of completely legal torrents.
Yeah, lots of them.
Most of them, zip files with pictures of naked dudes. That they took themselves.
Me and Sam actually send each other, we just share rather than when we give each other naked pictures of each other for ourselves, we share them P2P. A, so other people can get a hold of them. B, it's just sexier.
It's just
it's like if you handed like an envelope or like, hey, here's naked pictures of it. But when you find them on the internet,
and
it's like seeing your teacher in a porno.
And then when we get them, we can put a cup up to the wall in between our bedrooms and just go, I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
I got it. Thanks. Anyway.
But yeah, that's why, censorship of media outlets, that's why we have good independent reporting like McCracken on Mondays. That's why we're out here doing what we do.
We're here for you. Also in internet news, I don't remember exactly what it was. It may have been last night or the night before or the night before. I'm not sure exactly what. But apparently like half the internet in the world went out for like an hour or half an hour or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like reset. Like half the internet in the world. Reset. And people are speculating that it's like some kind of like either NSA addition or NSA removal thing.
Yeah.
Is that what they, like, so they either took some stuff out or put some stuff in to either block the NSA or the NSA put some more stuff in. Like something like
or
that.
Or it all downloaded to Skynet.
Or it was all getting pushed through the fat pipe and it got downloaded to Skynet. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was all just chugging for a little while.
We're going to keep looking into that because I think people don't really get, and it's a lot of speculation so far.
Skynet?
No, the internet reset, whatever it is. But we're gonna let you know more about that as things chug on. It's like I completely empty my head out every 2 minutes. Where the fuck is it all coming from?
Well, there's actually not a lot of stuff. It's stuff that's being produced quickly, but most of the stuff that's in your head is just inflammation and swelling of your sinuses, which is why it feels like there's so much stuff. But in reality, you're just blowing the same stuff. I know
every time.
I know it's blowing stuff out, but it's not as much stuff as you would think.
I know, but how is it making it so fast still?
Oh, it's all just up in there.
You just said that it was.
It's just draining out, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
It
just sucks.
Also, in technology news, I just got this thing today, which is basically a tracking bracelet.
Yeah. It's allegedly to see how many steps he takes, but we're pretty sure it's so that they know where he is.
It's called the Fitbit, and it's got a little light on it, and it can track. It has a watch on it, and it can track, basically my exercise. It tracks my steps, and it has like my weight and age and stuff like that in it, and height. So it tracks how many calories I burn, and it tracks how far I go and stuff like that. And it also tracks my sleep. When I set to sleep on, which is pretty cool, and it's got a nice little buzzing alarm on it. And eventually, so that's kind of interesting, and it can track my location. I wear it all the time. That's the point.
Yeah.
And at first, I was like, my brother got it for me for Christmas. At first, I was like, this is kind of a weird gift.
That's why you made fun of it, and yet you've been wearing it all day.
Well, because then I started looking at what it was, and they have an open API, which is basically they have the operating system is released online, so people have the potential to mod the crap out of this thing.
What? That's cool. Well, how would you get the new software out here? If you wanted to,
you just download it. You just download it.
Okay.
It hooks into the computer. You sync with the computer and stuff like that. But I mean, I wouldn't be able to do it because I don't know how. But basically, you would hook it into the installer.
What kind of code is it written?
I have no idea.
Because that's another thing that if we get to tonight, I want to talk about esoteric coding. We'll see. We have no schedule, just a lot of good ideas.
Anyway, so this in a month I was reading in February they're going to release a software update that will pair it to my iPhone so that it'll have caller ID, which is kind of cool.
Oh,
so basically, it has the potential to become just this Bluetooth smartwatch, this really simple Bluetooth smartwatch, which is pretty cool. And as scary as the NSA and the government is, I'm already out there. My name is all over the internet. Jordan's got a GPS in her car. I have an iPhone. It's not like they don't already know where I am all the time. And so, whatever. Like, at this point,
you're going to have to go off the grid when they come for you.
Yeah,
regardless.
Exactly. So, I figure it's pretty cool. And wearable technology is like all the rage right now.
Yeah.
And it is the future.
I really wanted a Glover trick when I was a kid.
Is that one of those things?
Well, the whole, sci-fi, it's a glove with like a gauntlet with info.
Oh. Okay, so not the big watch one that the keyboard hooks into, not that one.
It could be.
Because you remember it was like the big watch with the screen, and then it had like the open port right there, and you would clip the big clipboard onto it, and then you could type on
that. That could be qualified. I mean, there's not like a product called a Glover Trick.
That was a product. That was like a thing.
Yeah, I know, but Glover Trick, I think, it was a sci-fi term that me and my brother may or may not have invented. I don't know.
Do you mean like the watch from Spy Kids? Is that
like the watch from Spy
okay.
Kids? Yeah. It would be something like that. But I had a thing that it would be tough to say because I can't really gauge the time of my memories because everything seemed a lot longer. But what seemed like months, I wore around this like mesh glove that had like all this fucking shit on it when I was like probably like 6 or 7. It had like a compass and like a little like a laser, which was like a LED that you and it was all this fucking shit. Yeah, I wore it around like forever and ever until it just got so gross that like I was gonna get like trench wrist.
Yeah, like trench wrist
for wearing it around. Yeah. So I had to stop.
I had a sweatband watch at one point.
Oh, really?
It was a watch that was in a sweatband, and it was actually pretty cool. But it made me really sweaty, and so I had to stop wearing it because my arm smelled bad.
Yeah. And then
those were the days. Those were the days. And it would like get all dirty when I go outside to play and stuff. Anyway, so that's what's in the news basically. That was a good 20 minutes we just covered.
We gotta go into space though, guys.
Oh yeah, right, space.
Our favorite place to go. And I have this article here because I don't quite have all the information. A large radio telescope, the largest one in the world. Shit.
The very large array?
It's not the largest single radio telescope, single dish. So not one of these arrays. Okay. It's one of these just an incredibly huge dish, and not the big ass one in like Cuba that's like built in. That's not like part of the Earth.
Not the one from Contact. And the one from GoldenEye.
The one from GoldenEye. No, it's neither one of those. It's one I don't think I'd ever seen. I can't remember the name, but the picture of it, it was like the ring, but it was all made of squares.
Oh, cool.
Like they hadn't bothered to flesh it out, so it looked like it was made in Minecraft.
Awesome!
I think that's something we should build in our Minecraft world.
Totally.
We should build a SETI, like, fucking dish. Well, they've discovered a triple star system, which... Trinary. Which is not the first one that there's ever been. There are trinary star systems. They're very rare, but this particular one,
smells really good. This particular one smells good. That's why it's piqued their interest.
It's 3 stars. It's 2 white dwarfs and a super dense pulsar. It's a pulsar that's only a couple miles across, and they're all in a space that's smaller than Earth's orbit of the sun. So they're incredibly close and incredibly dense. All really small, basically collapsed or partially collapsed stars. And the article's really interesting. They talk about how they were able to find it and how they were able to measure where their orbits are. This is something we talked about in the last show about how they measure light. Things they measure planets or bodies orbiting around each other by the amount of light from a star being increased.
That's the way they tell that's also the way they tell the period of a pulsar.
Yes. So it was something unbelievably fast. 366 times per second this thing is revolving.
That's fast.
Yeah.
Ouch. That's fast.
Yeah, something a few miles wide. That's crazy. But they're all sort of orbiting around each other, and it's just this unbelievable amount of gravity. And that's where it really gets interesting is that they're basically going to try and find out better ways to measure this and use it as a model to test quantum mechanics on.
Awesome.
Yeah, which is really cool because basically
because it's super heavy gravity and super fast time. So it's like lots and lots of gravity, which slows down time and light. That's what lots of gravity does. It slows down time and light. but these things are moving so quickly. So there's imagine like time is volume. There's lots of it.
Yeah. It's basically Einstein's all his theories on mechanics.
The theory of relativity.
Yeah, are all theoretically will break down in extreme conditions.
Yeah.
And the constants of the universe, the laws of physics, basically will not really work the same way under extreme conditions. And these are some of the most extreme conditions that they've found that they'll be able to measure as far as gravity goes. So it's really, really, really cool. And I wish I could find the name of it. I don't know if they've even given it a name.
My grandma's name is Constance.
Constance. It's Constance. They named it after the same reason they named the lake on the moon of on Titan. They named the sea after Sam. They named this trinary star system after his grandmother.
What's up?
Yeah.
Gammy Hummel. Anyway, very interesting.
Yeah,
I wish I were in the middle of that trinary star system,
Mm-hmm.
feeling the stresses of that gravity all over my body.
Yeah.
So in other news, lots of internet stuff apparently. I wish we could show that.
Are you literally just remembering all this as we go along?
No, I'm looking at this right here.
Oh,
I'm looking at the stuff.
What are we looking at?
Look, that's the internet, and that's stupid internet stuff, and that I'm assuming is stupid internet stuff. This I wish we could show you. For now, we'll post a link on Facebook. But
will we post a link on Facebook?
Yeah, I always do.
We do?
Yeah.
You do? Because
yes.
I feel like we always say we're going to put stuff on.
You just never go to the Facebook page.
No, I know.
You just don't know it exists.
I don't.
Go to, what was the game called? Shoot.
It was called Cat Lateral Damage.
Oh yeah, go to catlateraldamage.com. Someone has created it's an alpha development right now, but someone's created basically a asshole cat simulator where you're a cat and you swat things off the desk for points. And you can jump from shelf to shelf.
You can get up on the tops of the shelves
and you just swat things.
Knock over the TV and rip down the.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, I think they need a couple extra things in it. They need.
Well, yeah.
It's in alpha development. I want stuff to be able to break. There need to be curtains.
Yeah.
And I want you to be able to put scratch marks on the walls and furniture, like the larger furniture that you can't knock over.
Yeah.
Those some things in case the developers of Cat Lateral Damage see this. Those are my ideas as part of your alpha test team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty great though. You should check that out definitely. I'll post a link to Facebook.
It's awesome. I can't play it on my computer because I have some kind of outdated. It uses a newer player.
Yeah.
Probably all you functional human beings have computers that can handle it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What else, Brian?
Oh man, what the hell is all this?
What's this one?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Okay, what's this one? Oh, look. If I put lots of blue, there we go. Now we're getting really yellow.
Ooh,
that's how cameras work, guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's this one?
I was just wondering. We've been trying to do a lot of technology talk today, but we've been trying to do every week. Show some completely useless, stupid fucking something.
I have one that's not completely useless. I found. Hang on, let me
show them this.
Let me find. No, I'll show that when it's done. Shoot, what is it? I can't remember what it's called now. Basically, I found a website via Reddit.
Most of our internet stuff comes from the internet is beautiful on Reddit.
Yeah.
Not all of it, but
basically what I found was, oh, here we go, Dead Man Switch. It's basically you set up this account where you plug in your email and you can attach files to this email of or you send them an email and you can attach files to it and text to it, whatever you want, and then they'll send you an email every week that has a link in it that you click to confirm that you're still alive.
Yeah.
And then if you don't click it, it'll wait the amount of time you said to wait, You can set how much time it will, and then it'll send that email out to everybody that you want it to send out, that you set to email it out to.
Yeah.
So it's basically you click this link to confirm you're live, and then if you die and you don't click the link, it'll send this email out to everybody.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds like I would really quickly fuck up and not click the link.
And everything and it'd be like, hey guys, all my money is hidden here. Also, here's some naked pictures of me for proof that I was naked once, or something like that.
That's what I'm gonna.
Yeah.
In my will, everyone has to look at me naked. That's definitely good.
Yeah. Anyway, it's called Dead Man Switch. It's deadmanswitch.org. It's pretty cool.
What a convenient free service.
Yeah, what a convenient, right? Yeah, I know we do these things every week, but reddit.com/r/internet is beautiful. It's just the best sites ever. I found it.
There's definitely stuff that doesn't show up on there, though. I found a good countdown list of whatever it was, 15.
Well, then you should post it to there.
Yeah, I should. What's the show that it looks like the it's kind of the Teletubbies knockoff?
Poobahs.
Poobahs, yeah. Poobahs, weird enough on its own. It's like the developers of these kids shows are all like in a competition, like who can make scarier shit.
Yeah.
And they just look. They're just penises. I'm sorry. They're
not really penises.
They have peeled back
like really
foreskin.
Fat penises then, because they're shaped like avocados.
They're shaped like avocados, but they have the little head, helmet head popping out of their turtleneck. Like.
Oh man.
This is a good one.
Here is a website that I just found called CursorDanceParty.com.
So we're just doing this as we go along.
Where it seems everyone, everyone that's on the website can have a cursor and then just change your cursor to some different things and then like party with it.
I don't think there's other people on here, man. I think all these cursors are.
No, I think this is people on here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all these other cursors
here,
are
show
other people.
them. Screenshot this.
Right. Let me try and figure out how to do this. I did it before.
We're still learning that. We should practice when we're not on the show.
I know, we really should. We really should. How do I do that? Phil.
Well
done. Well done.
Hey, there's
here we go.
There's a bunch of Centurions coming to a bar. Oh, never mind.
There we go. Okay, so it might be kind of glitchy. I hope you can see it. But anyway, here's me, the one that's spinning right there in the right there in the top. Oh wait, see how it looks on there. But basically, it's just you can change your cursor, and then
you can change the size.
Yeah,
wow,
you can change the size. And it's basically you're just partying with all these other cursors. Oh look, all these people are doing the same thing over here.
They're having a fucking gangbang.
Yeah, they seriously are. Yeah, let's go.
This dude's just partying.
Woo!
So how do you change shape?
There are different keys.
Is that?
Oh, there we go. Oh.
Oh, this is.
Now I'm waiting. Oh, look, everybody's trying to stack them now. Look,
yeah.
Yeah, look, you guys can't really see it. We'll switch back now. But anyway, that's pretty cool. How do I get out of this? Oh, like that.
We're not talking about the Watch from Spy Kids.
Oh, sorry, we're not on Spy Kids. I'm sorry. But anyway, so yeah, lots of cool stuff on the internet, guys. You know, I don't know if you've ever really used the internet before, but
anyway, yeah, I was saying that what are they called again? Poobahs.
Poobahs, yeah, Poobahs.
The Poobahs website is from someone's fucked up dream. That's a coma fantasy website. Go find it. It's twisted.
We'll post a link to Facebook.
Yeah.
Brian will post a link to Facebook.
I doubt I will.
He will, though. He will. Anyway, so let's get to the meat of our.
Yeah. Everything that we talked about outer space, the cosmos, the government, the future of our freedom, the future of our well-being, future of our economy, our technology progressing forward. All of this is basically seems like dust in the fucking wind.
Doesn't really matter.
Compared to the new Star Wars movie that's coming out, obviously.
So Star Wars, what's it called? The Dark Side? No, it's called...
They better not put dark in the title.
I don't remember.
Dark's in the fucking title of everything.
Okay, in any case, the new Star Wars movie, not just the new Star Wars movie. So Marvel owns Star Wars, right? Marvel owns Star Wars now. They bought it, or I'm sorry, Disney bought Star Wars, but Disney also owns Marvel Comics and Marvel, all that Marvel junk. So that is shocking. Dark Horse Comics. Let's talk about comics first, because that's a little smaller.
Yeah, let's get some background.
Dark Horse Comics has been putting out Star Wars comics since the
the
late
80s.
70s or the 80s.
Yeah.
The 80s, probably, the 80s. And they've been awesome. Just lots of stuff. But recently, like a couple weeks ago, Dark Horse lost their license to Star Wars, which isn't really shocking that it's going to go over to Marvel. But Star Wars comics are going to be produced by Marvel now. So
they're a much more Marvel thing. I feel like Dark Horse and Marvel, and I'm going with this off of the art in Dark Horse in general and the what I know about a little bit about the kind of property ownership. The way I understood it was like Marvel Comics basically claims if you work for Marvel and you draw a picture, Marvel owns it. Period. It's kind of the thing. Like anything that you're working on, basically, like you're under contract with Marvel. Like they basically have everything that you have. But Dark Horse it doesn't work like that.
Well, no, I mean they also work like that. They're just cooler. That's all. They're just not like a dicky corporation.
And as a result, I think it attracts some more far out artists, and it's sort of like the pseudo indie wing of Marvel.
Well, it's not really a wing of Marvel.
Well, so how does it break down? Disney owns Marvel.
Dark Horse is like a different company.
So Dark Horse
is a comic.
Well,
thing.
so when Disney bought Star Wars,
Dark Horse still owned the comic rights.
Okay.
The publishing rights.
But did Disney take that from them?
Yeah, they like bought it from them. Probably.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, it makes more sense.
They didn't like steal it from them.
It makes more sense knowing those kinds of things and kind of the artists that are attracted to Dark Horse versus Marvel that Star Wars would be. You know, Star Wars. You don't want Seth MacFarlane drawing.
What are you talking about?
Not Seth MacFarlane. Todd McFarlane. You don't want. Sorry. You don't want Todd McFarlane drawing Star Wars. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
But they had awesome artists on Star Wars.
They did, but, like, it's just...
It was great.
It was great.
It was great.
And it makes more sense to have something more traditional doing it.
They have plenty of tradition. You don't know what you're talking about. In any case, that's not the point. The point is, Marvel owns Star Wars comics now. So, you gotta think, Star Wars, you know, in the Marvel comics, we got everything going on. We got the new universe, we got Infinity, we got Inhumans, we got Ultimate Comics, we got, you know, Deadpool. All that stuff is happening right now. And now they're going to throw Star Wars into the mix. But Star Wars takes place a long, long time ago with a galaxy far, far away.
Wait. Do we know that Star Wars is going to be part of the Marvel Universe? Do we know that?
No, but they're going to produce comics. Okay. So that's the question. Is the Star Wars universe and the Marvel universe going to be one thing in the comics now? It's not going to be in the movies. That would be ridiculous. I mean, we can assume it is in the movies because it takes place a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
It doesn't matter.
So it doesn't matter. But in the comics, there's plenty of room for overlap. So, you know, the Star Wars that we know obviously isn't going to be in the comics. But that future Star Wars universe has the potential to bleed into our universe because the Avengers travel all over the universe and all over all the universe.
And all over time, too.
And all over time.
Don't think that anything is safe.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would kind of be okay if they did a little bit. And thankfully, the people at Marvel right now, the editors and the head writers and stuff like that, are really smart about this stuff and aren't totally messing things up. Like, thankfully, you got Alonzo what's his name? You got Steve Ditko. You got all those other people.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of these are people who write and draw comics, and Star Wars is a classic now, an institution. I'm sure a lot of those people grew up with Star Wars and have
so they're not
a lot of respect for it. We froze over here. I don't know what that's all about.
I don't know. But that's old, I think. But anyway, so we have the potential to get the future Star Wars universe onto Earth. So basically, like, Captain America could just have a lightsaber now. You know what I mean?
No.
Daredevil would just, like, get rid of his nunchucks and
have a vibro axe.
Have a vibro axe. You know, that would be awesome. You know, thermal detonators and ion cannons. Just, you know?
Yeah.
The potential is great. Anyway, so that's the comics, which is interesting. But the real big part, the real big thing about Star Wars right now is that a couple days ago, Disney put out press statements or whatever, I don't care. Basically, they put together a committee of people to determine what Star Wars stuff, what do you call it? What Star Wars product?
What storylines? What?
Thank you, storylines.
Yeah.
What storylines and stuff like that will be now in canon and not in canon? So up until now, we have the movies, all the movies in canon. All the TV shows made by Star Wars have been in canon. A couple of comics, I think, have been in canon because they've been basically remakes of the movies and stuff like that. But and then video games. Some of the video game stuff apparently has been in canon. The Battlefront things, I think, Force Unleashed, and some of the what's the big one that was out recently?
There's Knights of the Old Republic and the Old Republic, which is
those ones.
But it's like, how do you make an MMO in canon? You know, and it's like, okay, it's
but it's the idea of it. It's because it takes place in the
Rogue Squadron. I think is like theoretically, like this is the time period where it happens in. But it's not really. It's kind of
but it's But anyway, there's tons of stuff. There's tons of books. There's tons of comics. There's all this crazy stuff. There's third-party publishers publishing. We have all the, unofficial guides to Star Wars weapons and characters and planets and all that stuff. We have all those books. We have the Lego stuff, all this crazy stuff. So this committee is going to determine, out of all of these things, what will and will not be in canon. So we have the potential for, like, the Thrawn trilogy, which is one of the most popular Star Wars book series, to become in canon. It, of course, won't, unfortunately, even though it's the best.
Wait, you're saying... Well, you can't say it is in canon now because they haven't made these. But I'm saying you can't say that it is or it isn't because no one has really squarely made those rulings.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah, now they are. Now I gotta
say, what I'm saying. We have the potential for that.
Yeah, it is kind of scary that someone's making the decisions for you, but I think in a way it kind of shows how much respect they're having for.
No, I think it's awesome.
Disney didn't pick up Star Wars and be like, yeah, stuck down my fucking pocket. Like they're not treating it like an asset.
Not at all.
I
mean, they are, but they're doing it really
they
well.
are, but I think, and this is what we were saying for the past year or so since this whole thing began. That it's like I think Disney they got to the point where they're at because they're smart enough business people that they're not gonna pick it up and just savage it. They know that
they're not just gonna milk it.
A huge amount of their money is and their future. I mean, regardless of what the short term is, how much they can soak out bring out people for the next 3 movies. The future of the franchise is much more dependent on the core fan base.
Yeah.
It's like you can, and this is obviously something that George Lucas didn't understand. You can totally milk the wide audience with 3 movies and make a killing, but to really build a lasting franchise, you need to
produce material.
You need to produce material. You need
produce
to
good material. Produce good material.
You need to win over the core fan base.
Yeah.
You need to win over the
which, luckily, he had no matter what, because we would just eat anything up that came out.
Well,
I mean, seriously though, we would.
Seriously.
Wait, how many times did you see Phantom Menace?
4?
Yeah.
I was like 9.
Doesn't matter.
I was in denial.
How many times would you have seen Phantom Menace if it came out right now? Probably 4. You know what I mean?
Fucking who knows?
Anyway, so this committee...
I don't know about that, man.
So this committee is making rulings on what will and will not be in canon. I don't know if that means that all of these books are up for canon or if the video games are up for canon. But basically, they're weeding out... They're going to say, no, guys, this stuff is officially not in canon. So we've got 6 movies. 7 movies, I guess, technically, because of the Clone Wars terrible movie. But... let's just say 6 movies. We have probably the Clone Wars TV show, which I really hope they set in canon because that means they can flesh out that timeline a little bit more because it's an awesome timeline.
Yeah.
It's just great. I say this every time we talk about Star Wars. If you haven't watched the Clone Wars TV show, you have to watch it because it's amazing. Anyway, we have that.
both the Clone Wars TV shows.
Yeah, both the Clone Wars.
We have the Tchaikovsky one and the...
One is, 6 seasons. And one is 45 minutes. But anyway... we have some books that hopefully we'll get in there, just to sort of solidify the past. The future, obviously, none of that is going to be in canon because they're gonna they want to that's what they're going to do. They're going to.
Well, I mean, they might go for filling in the however long it is, the 30 years. Not quite. Yeah, the 30 years that elapsed between Return of the Jedi and the new trilogy. They might want to say actually hammer out what.
Yeah. I know, but I'm saying that's what I'm saying is they're not gonna the stuff. There's lots of stuff that has filled in the gap.
Yeah.
They're not gonna use that stuff in canon.
You don't think?
No, because they can write new material for that and sell it.
I guess.
So, unfortunately, as great as the Thrawn trilogy is, probably not going to be in canon. But anyway, this is all just really cool because they're, laying down the law in terms of what is and what is not in canon. And sort of the in and out of canon, material has always been a problem with expanded universe. Look at Star Trek, Star Wars, even things like Firefly, Buffy, X-Files, Babylon 5, Battlestar Galactica, all of these things have huge expanded universes that people just keep producing material for, and it's really hard. Even things like Warhammer and Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. All of that material that's been produced is sometimes what is and what is not in canon. It's really
with that, what you're getting at here is for me the bottom line to all this is yeah, that's great. Hammer up the canon, but it doesn't matter because if the Thrawn trilogy's good, people are still gonna read it.
No.
It's
cool, but it's setting a precedence for solidifying storylines, which is really cool because all that other stuff is great, and we're still gonna pay attention to all that stuff that's not in canon, all that third-party stuff. But it's really cool that we can really start to build the storyline now. You know what I mean? Because people can just look at you go to the Star Wars Wikipedia, and you've got stories dating back to the beginning of Star Wars time and into the future. We know when Han and Leia and Luke and Lando and Chewie all die.
Well, that's
but that's not actually true.
That's the other thing is that there's no way they can get it all. There's so much material. There's no way that they can review it all.
No, well, but they can is the thing.
Nah, I don't know.
Because it's Disney.
I guess.
Anyway, so that's cool. It's setting a precedence for all these things. So now we can, as fans, can start to be yeah, this is true. This is what is actually happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it makes me think a little bit about when they released the Hyrule Historia, and Sam ordered a copy, and we were really excited. And, in case you don't know about this, there was hot debate about the Zelda timeline for years and years, starting whenever that came out in 1980, so 4 or 5, until a year and a half ago, about what was in canon, what wasn't, and where the timeline split, and how things shook out, and this isn't in canon because it's too fucking goofy, and the multiplayer and this
the cartoon was too good.
Well, no, there were certain games people. There was a cartoon universe, and then there was a real.
Yeah.
So there was But what it really came down to was like it is the Legend of Zelda. You know, it's what makes it mythological is that it's kind of this constant retelling of the same story.
Yeah.
Which in the universe it was a cyclical story.
Yeah.
But it was also kind of like it was lost in the sands of time, the story, you know? And we were super excited when the Hyrule Historia came out. And then we got it, and I sat down and I read it, and I was like, who the fuck cares? After all that, I was like, you know what? This is much less interesting with the canon, like, actually solidified.
I think it's more interesting.
I think it's...
I think it's more. I like it. I like it when stuff like that happens. I like it when we can say when things happen and what is true.
I mean, it didn't like make me angry, but it wasn't like I looked at it, I was like, wow, it all makes sense now. I looked at it and was like, oh, okay, like that's. It seemed like even though it was put forth from Nintendo or soon to be from Disney as this is the solid, this is the canon.
Yeah.
It didn't make it feel any more real for me. I was still like, I felt like, well, that's your opinion, Nintendo. Like, that's your opinion.
You're just
creators of the game.
You're just not a true believer.
I don't know. It didn't like. It still seems, and this is what happened with Zelda and what I think might how it to me personally feels with Star Wars. Like, the Zelda canon still feels like the official canon still feels like one version of the canon to me.
I mean, that's your opinion, man. Nintendo's released the Bible of Zelda. That's the truth.
I just don't think it matters that much.
That's the truth from God himself. It may not matter, but it's true.
Yeah.
In any case, the other cool thing about all this is it opens up an entire new generation of hilarious fanfiction. Because now that they're going to change all the stories, we get to fill in the gaps again of the new stories.
Yeah, no, that's like, because there's, and I've talked about fan fiction on this show, and it's unbelievable how layered it is. Like, you have these communities of people who they'll write, and I'm sure Star Wars fan fiction is, I go for the worst stuff I can. People who, like, write, because you go onto the fanfiction.net or .org, whatever it is, libraries, and they're like, what, you see the link for, like, Small Soldiers fanfiction. It's like, is there one guy who's like, no, like, 200 fucking people thought that story ended too soon.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Star Wars is generally much better.
Oh yeah.
But also much bigger and much more dense. So you have someone who's writing, and then other people will make art for them, and then that art will inspire other people to make their stuff, and people's things are referencing each other, and people have these sort of branching out timelines, and then those timelines intersect with each other, and they have parallel universes within the Star Wars universe, and this is all just people inventing this shit on internet threads. Basically.
But it's all connected.
But it's all connected, and it's just crazy. So now, to have the uncanon, which is already made up of many, many, many separate versions, and now to have the official canon.
Yeah.
And
we have the old universe and the new universe.
Yeah. And the old universe is already made up of many, many universes.
And it'll keep going.
And the old one will keep going, and the new one will have many versions of it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's
just awesome. It's so great.
And people are just going to get so fucking angry about it, which is the best part. People are going to get furious about it.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
It's going to be fantastic.
All said and done, hours of flame war entertainment, which is the best entertainment there is.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So there's that.
Do we have anything else to talk about on the show?
Not really. And we're about 5 minutes from being done.
That's cool, man. We can end it earlier, remember?
Yeah. We're allowed to do that, man.
For watching everyone. I love you, places. Yeah. Thanks for watching the show, everyone.
We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week on Monday.
Yeah.
Just like today. But in a week.
It'll be,
by that time I will have walked Probably like 45,000 steps.
Yeah.
So I'll let you know.
It'll be next week. You know, it'll be just like this, but it will never be the same twice.
Yeah.
It's like a Japanese tea ceremony. No matter how close you try to get, the wind is always different. You will never have the same Monday night twice.
It's true.
It's beautiful. It's just the universe, you know.
Also,
we're struggling for order, but it's just it's chaos.
I don't have a job now, so this whole week has the potential to just be all about McCracken on Mondays.
Yeah.
I might just shove content down my butt, you know what I mean? Like I ate some peppers, it's just like flying out of there.
Yeah.
Hot peppers.
That's what happens when you eat peppers.
Like really hot peppers.
Really?
Like imagine
you poop show out?
Yeah. Imagine I ate like 6 ghost chilies and show is just coming out of my butt. Like rain.
It's hot.
Like acid rain.
That is sex.
Okay, good night everyone!
Bye.